Today I'm going to be teaching you how to create cadences, even when you're having problems with what I call cadence block. And of course I'm going to give you some live examples of how I apply this technique right here in the studio. So without further ado, let's get it! What's up everybody, this is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, bringing you another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. Today we're going to be talking about how to create cadences and overcome cadence block. Now if you don't know what cadence is, I've already broke this down and explained it in a previous video, so I will drop a link to that video in the video's description below so you can check that out. Okay, so how do we overcome cadence block? Let me just break down a little bit of groundwork first before I go into that to give you a perspective on where I'm coming from with this, okay? Now the first song with rapping in it was in 1979 by a group called the Fatback Band, and the song was entitled King Tim 3. That is the first commercial released rap song ever. Just a few months after that, the same year in the wintertime, another group came out with a rap song, a lot more popular than the previous one. And you probably have heard this song at some point in time in your life, whether you realize it or not. And it's by a group that goes by the name of the Sugarhill Gang. And the song was entitled Rapper's Delight. If you listen to these first rap songs and you compare them to songs of today, modern day rap songs, let's say just from the past 10, 20 years. If you compare the two, you will notice there has been a huge evolution in rap. Now, why is that? Well, think about it like this. These guys are just starting off. They're literally creating something new. They're pioneers of a different type of art form. So they had nothing to reference to. They had no school they can go to learn. They're literally having to create this stuff up as they go. So quite naturally, as they kept on making music, the music was evolving, the rapping was evolving, rappers were learning stuff as they went, they were pushing themselves further and further as artists, and quite naturally, artists were learning things as they went from each other. So it was an evolution of rap as a collective body of work. As everybody was pushing themselves as artists, everybody was benefiting from it. So like if this artist did something new, and I was like, oh, okay, that's tight. I like that technique. I'm gonna try that technique and give it my own twist and do something completely different with it. This is how evolution was happening. In hip hop, there's a commandment. Thou shall not bite. What biting means in hip-hop terms, if you're unaware, it basically means you're a copycat. You're basically taking someone else's lyrics, someone else's swag, someone else's flow, or whatever, and calling it your own, basically. Now, I'm not advocating that at all, okay? I think that's pretty whack, unoriginal. It's not very artistic at all. If we're not careful, we can take that rule and go too far to the left with it, okay? Because that rule doesn't mean you shouldn't study other artists. That rule doesn't mean that you shouldn't learn from other artists and be a student of them and learn their techniques and learn their craft. That'll give you a better appreciation for what it is that they're able to do. When you're first learning how to rap, you're in a very similar boat as those artists were in 1979, except you have close to a 40-year advantage of them because there's 40 years almost worth of work that you can reference to and learn from that they didn't have. And that's what I'm submitting to you today. If you want to overcome cadence block, or you just want to become the best rapper that you can possibly be, start being a student of other artists. There's been so many great rappers who've come before us that we can learn from. Okay, and that's what I'm submitting from you to do. Because the more cadences that you learn, it's like an arsenal. It's like you're adding more tools in your rapper's tool belt, if you will. So you learning more cadences is going to give you a lot more variety to play around with when you're trying to rap to a track. So realistically, this is how you can do it. Pull up an artist that you like, a song that you like, or study other artists that you hear about being great, but maybe you haven't had a chance to really listen to much of their music. Go back and listen to their music and see what inspires you. Get the song title, go into Google, type in the artist's name, song title, and then put lyrics behind it, all right? Once you find those lyrics to that song, copy and paste it to your word processor of choice on your device of choice and save it. And then pull up that song and start listening to the song while you're looking at those lyrics. And just keep doing that. Keep practicing those lyrics to that song. And then every so often, don't even look at the lyrics and see how much you've memorized. Now, once you learn those lyrics, what you have done is also learn the cadences. Using references is such a powerful tool across the board, no matter what genre you're in, whether it's being an artist, or even if you're starting on a job. If it's your first day working on the job, it'd be wise to pay attention to that guy that's been there 25 years, because there's no reason why you shouldn't keep evolving faster than those before you. You see what I'm saying? Because they have life experiences they had to learn through time, and they can pass that on to you if you're willing to learn from it. So what I'm advocating is not to bite other artists. What I'm saying is simply learn from them, study them, learn their cadences, evolve as an artist, start working on your own evolution as an artist, because you too have something to offer this art form. So what I'm about to do is I'm gonna load up a beat from ColeMizeStudios.com beat store by a producer named IAmVinay, and the beat is called All on the Line. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to reference 3 artists, and I'm going to study their cadence on a particular song, and then on one beat I'm going to mimic just a few bars of each of these artists' songs. The first artist is going to be DMX, and the song that I'm going to be referencing is Slippin. The second artist is going to be Eminem, Marshall Mathers, and the third one will be Outkast, ATLiens, and specifically Andre 3000's third verse on that song. So this is all about cadence, so I'm still going to be mumbling gibberish and just using these as references. I'm not necessarily trying to get them verbatim exactly. I'm just studying their general flow and cadence of these songs, and I'm going to take these completely different artists on completely different songs, and I'm going to practice similar cadences of theirs on this one beat. So this should be pretty interesting. So let's get right to it. I'll be right back. All right?
Are you ready? It's go time.
DMX, Eminem, and then Andre. Let's go.
I win the brass, win the case, win the gas, win the battle weight. You win the ghost, win the bass, and the battle weight. I win the bride for time for 10. Win the gas and the grass and time for 10. I won the bit there, used to win the bin there. Used to win the gas and rap, but no win the pin there. First skinner, woo, the pot win the mama. Used to win the gas, the rapper, till we the bomber. I feel the win the gas, cause I'm hot, I win a number.
Eminem.
I passed when they parking, rights when they caulking, mics to the pop and the rip pop top and the cost for the car prop and off for the pipe pilot. Following that, I'm a title with sop and the kite pollen. Or leaving out with the rip and the pop pocket. Used to win the rhyme and the grip and the cop popping. Ripping the pit pillars, heffing the pillar piss. Looping there like on the rep and the pit pillars. Hoofing the recast and never some pit pillars.
Andre 3000.
Pastor when they capping and grabbing till we depart. Used to when they capping the grass to pay the park. Used to when they capping like grabbing to pay the talk. Used to when they capping the grabbing to pay the part. No pills, no wheels. To be the one that peels the weight. On the rip and the side of water, but ever when I was so really careful to rap and neighbor the par. Pastor with the capping the grabbing, sapping the papping the costa with the pepping like grabbing to pay the par.
So there you go. That's how I like to practice when I'm trying to create different cadences. And if I ever have cadence block, I just go back to referencing other artists and take notes and learn from them. I hope that is helpful to you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions, comments, or feedback. And I would love to hear your techniques. How do you come up with your cadences, and how do you overcome cadence block? Let us know. I want to learn from you guys as well. And if this is your first time being here, I want to invite you to get a free copy of my ebook, The #1 Fundamental to Rapping, where I'm sharing with you tips and techniques that I've gathered over the 17 years that I've been rapping. And I sure do wish that I had something like this when I first started off. And it's not only for beginners. Even if you've been rapping for several years, you may just learn something that may change your perspective on how you think about rap. And there's a subscribe button. And if you want to watch more videos on how to rap, I have a playlist right down there that has every single video I've done in chronological order for your viewing pleasure. This is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, bringing you another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. And until next time, y'all take care. We'll holler at you. Peace.